हमें को Good evening, good afternoon. I believe exercise 5 of application में there are some doubts left over. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
People on mute. No, you can speak. Tell me.
So 50 and 51.
Sir, 16th one.
So 43.
Sir, 17th part C and D.
1-7.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So 37 also.
So 14.
So 23rd.
So 39.
Okay. अभी a bit arbitrary में पेज ओपन होने में टाइम लगा है 51 I remember, so I tell you the solution first. This is a tractor belt. Consider lambda to be the mass per unit length, right? Take this length to be L, then this will be L. This will be pi r of a length. This will be pi r of a length. So mass per unit total 2 pi r plus 12 is lambda. First point. They want the kinetic energy of this when it is rolling. This velocity will be 0. This velocity will be 0. Both the ends are at 0 velocity when it is rolling. Obviously, this will have 0 velocity. So kinetic energy is half lambda L 0. Now come to the upper part. Half lambda L 2v whole square. Myself, why will this have 2v? This end has a velocity 2v, this end will have a velocity 2v. Right? Plus. Now
Yes.
this semicircle and this semicircle will be one ring. This semicircle and this semicircle will be one ring. One ring of the kinetic energy is half mv square plus half ICM omega. Now, what is the mass of this ring? Lambda into 2 pi. What is the moment of inertia of the ring? mr square. Mass is lambda into 2 pi. Simplify this, you get the answer. Omega is v by r because the body is rolled. This is the kinetic energy of a ring. One ring, where will you take care? This part is one semicircular ring, this part is one semicircular ring. Combine both. See, these discs you didn't consider because they were masses. These discs you didn't consider, you only considered the belt. If you take the belt, this side will be a semicircle, this side will be a semicircle. Both put together will be a ring.
Sir.
Hmm.
Hello, sir.
Bolo, bolo.
Sir, after exercise 5, will you take any other doubts?
Pata nahi yaar. Other doubts, what doubts do you have?
Sir, the assignment sheet you had given before major test.
Assignment I'll have to discuss, but I'm not sure I'll be able to complete it today. So that way, if you are waiting only for assignment, we'll keep it for next week. Next week, we'll have a doubt lecture. I have kept Gautam in. By
Okay,
chance,
sir.
even if he fails us, evening 4 to 5, at least once in a week, we'll keep it out.
Okay, sir.
Once in a week.
Can you also add the 40th?
Exercise 5.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Can you also add the 40th question?
Wait, बीच में कुछ और भी बोल लेते, किसी और ने कुछ और नंबर भी बोल लिया.
So 39.
39, and now you said 40.
Yes, sir, 40 I told.
Okay, can I rub this?
So can you add 7 too?
Okay.
So 30
50th problem में this is a desk which is fixed this way. right? You're pulling this with a force of F. It is hinged at this particular center. Am I right? We take this to be M1 and we take this to be M2. Center of mass will come somewhere here, but this will be the point of contact. This will be COM. Center of mass for M1 and M2 may be somewhere here. That time the point of contact need not coincide. Right. We will take R to be the distance of point P from the center of mass. This distance I will take as R. This distance I will take as R. First equation F is equal to M1 plus M2 into acceleration of C1. F is equal to M1 plus M2 into acceleration of C1. F into R is equal to I into alpha. M1 R square by 2 into alpha. M1 R square by 2 into alpha. Capital R is the radius of this disk. Torque. F into capital R, sorry. And we'll take the torque about the center of mass. That is the key catch in the problem. We'll take the torque about center of mass. Am I committing a mistake?
No, sir. It's same.
So I took it about I took R, capital R, and I got the answer. I didn't use.
Right. Take capital R, right? Because moment of inertia, if I take about the combined center of mass, my moment of inertia, I'll have to calculate separate. This moment of inertia is about the center of the disk. Right? Now watch out for this. Acceleration of the point P. Acceleration of the point P will be R alpha plus R alpha plus AC. So this acceleration, I will know acceleration of center of mass. This distance is smaller. R alpha with respect to center of mass plus acceleration of center of mass with respect to ground will be acceleration of the point K. Is that taken as
So we can take acceleration of center of mass same as the acceleration of the pivot, right? So from that we'll get acceleration of pivot plus R alpha.
acceleration of center of mass and acceleration of pivot will be the same according to you because this is in pure translation.
Yes, sir.
ECM and this particular point acceleration of O will be the same. So you will equate this to acceleration of O.
So that will be capital R alpha.
Then this will become capital. Fair enough. Then why are we going around this? Then don't even consider center of mass. Acceleration of O plus R alpha is equal to acceleration of K. Life becomes much simpler then. तो दिक्कत है ही नहीं. Translational dynamic equation, rotational dynamic equation about O. Now kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Translational kinetic energy half m1 plus m2 into velocity square is 80. Velocity v equal to u plus 80. Right? Plus of half ICM omega. Now ICM you know m1 r square by 2. m1 r square by 2. Should not be difficult after this. Omega will be alpha t. Don't go in terms of b. Omega will be alpha t. You know alpha from here, so it should not be difficult.
Sir, can you also add 12, 19 and 27?
1 second. Let me rub the board. I like.
Sir, could you write 45?
12, 19, something else.
27.
Just a second, sir.
Okay, let's get back to our sequence. Where are we? Somebody said 40, 43, 45.
Can you add also the 38 one? Sorry, sir.
You said 30?
8, sir. 8.
38. Have a look at it. The disk of mass M sliding over a smooth horizontal surface. It collides with this at about 0.2 and it moves this way. Right? Velocity V experiences perfectly elastic collision. Right? Smooth stationary wall, angle between the motion direction of the disk and the normal. This is alpha. Okay, he wants the angular momentum about some point O dash. Am I right? Which is at a distance of how much?
L.
L. Okay. Find the point relative to which angular momentum of the disk remains constant in this process. See, the disk collides here. There will be a normal impact this way. This will be n delta, and this is impulsive force. So only about this particular point angular momentum will remain constant. Only about O angular momentum will remain constant because n delta t is passing through that particular point, and this is an impulsive force. This is the impulse J. Now you select O dash, which is at a distance of L. Now at this point of collision, you will have this as this is alpha, so this is alpha. This is V. This is V cos alpha. This will be V sin alpha. Now, what will be the angular momentum about O dash due to V sin alpha? 0.
0, sir.
Only V cos alpha will be left over. M V cos alpha into L dash will be the angular momentum about O dash initial. This is L initial. Find out L final. L final means this is coming out with V. This will have V cos alpha this way. And again V sin alpha this way. Again V sin alpha does not produce any angular momentum about O dash. But V cos alpha will produce. Right? That is again M V cos alpha into L dash. But then this is clockwise, this is anti-clockwise. If I take clockwise as positive, anti-clockwise as negative, delta L is L final minus L initial. It will be 2 times this. 2 times MV cos alpha into L dash.
Okay.
Now, whoever asked 39, you didn't attend the last lecture of rotational dynamics. We have done this in detail. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
So I'll give you the hint for the 39. You should be able to recollect. If a bob goes this way, about this point, angular momentum is conserved, but about this point, angular momentum will rotate this way. Do you recollect that?
Yes, sir.
This is 39. We even went 2 steps ahead of that question. We calculated change in angular momentum and proved that it is equal to the torque.
Yes, sir.
Right? A small body of mass m falls down without initial velocity without initial velocity. What a language. No, that's confusing. With zero initial velocity. Okay. From a height h over the Earth's surface. Find the increment of the ball's angular momentum vector picked up during the time of fall relative to the point 2 of the reference spring moving translationally in the horizontal direction with a velocity v. The ball falls from the point 2. Air drag is to be neglected. A ball of mass and a ball of mass and falls down without initial velocity. U is 0 from a height of h over the Earth's surface. Now consider Earth's surface to be flat, right? He is not telling you h is comparable to r, right? You can consider Earth's surface to be flat. Find the increment of the ball's angular momentum vector picked up during the time of fall relative to the point 2 of the reference spring moving translationally in the horizontal direction with the velocity v. Moving translationally in the horizontal direction with the velocity v. The ball starts fall from the point O. So, where from is this velocity moving?
So the reference point is also in line with O. Horizontal.
Half the way through, I started reading 39th question here. My bad. We are dealing with 40th, right? Sorry. Find the increment of the ball's angular momentum vector picked up during the time of fall relative to the point 2 of the reference frame moving translationally in a horizontal direction with a velocity v. The ball starts fall. Okay, from here it's moving. Initial velocity is u, and the frame is moving with the velocity. Am I right?
Yes.
Ball is falling in the downward direction. Ball is falling in the downward direction. Its velocity will be gt. Gt, again I'm reading half a revolution. That's 39. The air drag is neglected. Ball starts fall from the point 2. Now, its velocity at some instant will be gt. M is a mass. Right? So, L is equal to R cross mv. What is R? Your frame is with respect to this. R will be this quantity. If this distance is Vt, right? This distance is Vt at some angle theta. R cross mv. R cross m. This velocity is the velocity of this with respect to this. I am missing something important here. I didn't concentrate on this. Find the increment of the ball's angular momentum. That means increase in angular momentum. Find out the torque. Find out the torque. No, yaar, angular momentum calculate kar rahe ho.
So, but torque will be varying, right? Because the distance is changing.
Torque is dl by dt. Torque into dt will be dl.
Okay, sir.
Torque is mg. What is the answer given?
So the torque will be varying, right? mg into vt.
mg change hoga. mg change hoga. mg will be varying.
No, the distance will be varying, right?
R perpendicular.
Sorry.
Extend this. Socho to sahi ek second. mg. Hey, what is the answer given for this?
MV.
HM.
Right? He's playing a practical joke with you people. He wanted you to calculate L and all and fall in the trap. Nothing. It's just calculating torque. That will give me the incremental increase in angular momentum. Did you people get the catch?
Sir, can you repeat?
Find out the torque acting on it with respect to this. Find out the torque acting on it. What is the torque acting on it? This is mg. With respect to, right? This is moving with a velocity v. With respect to, find out the torque on small m.
Okay, sir.
So the D perpendicular will be vt, right? So,
Perpendicular will be extend this, drop a perpendicular from here. Extend the line of action, drop a perpendicular. Vt. mg into Vt. This into dt. Torque is dl by dt, right? Torque is dl by dt. You take dt to the right. Delta L mg v t delta t. And what is the answer given?
MVL.
mgh. So how is it independent of v?
It is
Sir,
MVH.
MVL.
M
VH.
Okay, got it. Got it. Then.
what more? M V G T M V H. So he took delta L by delta T only he has given. Right? Did you people understand what he did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No. Somebody said 45th. 45th, I think I dealt with in the class in the doubt lecture. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The uniform ring of radius r is spinning to an angular velocity. See, listen. The first problem is about a disk. Second, of a ring. The second problem is about a disk. I'll solve one of them. Which one do you want me to solve?
Sir, the second one.
Can you?
Now you're placing the disk this way. Right? Now when you place a disk this way, consider an elemental ring x dx. What will be the torque on it? Mu dm into g into x. Mu dm into g into x. Mu mass per unit area pi r square into 2 pi x dx. Gx d right? Integral d tau is 2mg by r square mu integral x square dx 0 to r equated to I into alpha. Mu n is mass of the ring, mass per unit area into 2 pi x dx into gx. 2mg mu upon r square, pi got cancelled, integral x square dx is equal to I into alpha. Is equal to I into alpha. Find out alpha. Once I get alpha, pressure exerted, there is what did he ask? How long will the disk rotate on the surface if the friction coefficient is mu? Omega is equal to omega naught minus alpha t. Omega naught is given. Omega is 0. T is omega naught by alpha. Put omega naught by alpha, which you calculated from here, you get the answer.
Sir, so the first part is the same, or what?
First part is for a ring. This is
No, but the procedure will be the same, right?
ring mein you will not consider another ring. Ring mein you will consider an element. Ring ka is included in this. Ring mein when you consider an element, you will directly get the torque on it. You don't need to integrate.
Okay, sir.
Just a minute.
So the torque sign will be negative, right? As the friction is opposing the tendency to rotate.
तो अल्फा नेगेटिव लिया ना यार, कितनी बार लोगे?
अच्छा, sorry sir, sorry.
दो बार लोगे तो नेगेटिव ऑफ नेगेटिव कर दो.
Sorry.
Three forces are applied to a square plate shown with the kind of modulus direction and the point of this point is taken inside. We see. Equate the net torque about the center of mass.
Sir,
Ah.
only solve 54 also.
Can I rub the board?
Yes.
Third में find the net total torque. This is at. This is at. This is at root 2. Find the net torque about O due to all the three forces. Equate it to this F resultant. F resultant into X. F resultant into X. Now F root 2 I will resolve in these two directions. F by root 2 or F root? F root. F root 2 along X axis. F root 2 along Y axis. You do the resolve. Right. Now this should be equal to this. This should be equal to this. Sum of these two should be equal to F result. First point. Is that clear? This should be equal to this. Sum of these two should be equal to F resultant. First point. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second, how do I get this distance X? Torque due to these two forces. Net torque about the center of mass due to all the forces should be equal to F resultant into X. Net torque due to 1, 2, 3 about the center of mass should be equal to F resultant into X.
Okay, so we have to find the force which could replace all the
Exactly. The right
Okay,
word is
sir.
which could replace all the forces. So these both summation should be equal to this. And net torque due to all the three forces should be F resultant into X.
Okay, so got it.
Can I rub the board? Twelfth question. 12th, I think, is not a fair doubt. Length and B of the rod, which makes an angle of theta with the floor, is being pulled with a velocity V naught. This is being pulled with a velocity of V naught. Right, as shown. Take the length of the rod as L. Calculate the following at the instant when theta is 37 degree. Velocity of A. When theta is 37 degree, this is V naught. This will be theta. This will be V naught cos theta. This is 90 minus theta. This is VB. VB cos 90 minus theta is VB sin. Equate both of them. This is theta, you know, 90 minus theta. V naught cos theta is VB sin theta. V naught cos theta. Sorry. This he called this A, right? I changed the symbols. This is A. This is VA. This is VA. This is V. VA sin theta is V naught cos theta. First point. Now angular velocity of the rod and center of mass velocity. Now angular velocity, I know this is 0. What is the angular velocity? V naught minus 0 divided by L sin theta. Omega is V naught minus 0 divided by the perpendicular distance L sin theta. Now once I know omega, how will I get the velocity of center of mass? Observe this. Velocity of this point with respect to center of mass. This is L by 2 omega. This is theta, this is theta. L by 2 omega cos theta. Plus velocity of center of mass, Vx and Vy. Vy, Vx. So now L by 2 omega cos theta minus Vy is 0. L by 2 omega sin theta plus Vx is equal to V naught. You know Vx and Vy, you will get the velocity of center of mass. How did you get Va? You equated both the velocities along the length. How did you get omega? This V naught minus 0 divided by the perpendicular distance. How did you get the velocity of center of mass? Velocity of this point with respect to center of mass in the vertical direction, less velocity of center of mass with respect to ground in the vertical direction. Sum of both should be 0. In the horizontal direction, sum of both should be V naught. You will get Vx and Vy. Can you rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Next I see is 14. Two particles 7 and 3m are fastened to two ends A and B respectively of a weightless rigid rod 15 feet long, which is freely hinged at a point O, 5 feet from A. The rod is just disturbed from its position is unstable. This is a catchy problem. Listen. 7m and 3m are fastened to two ends AB, respectively of a weightless rigid rod 15 feet. Now, where is it hinged? At a point O, 5 feet above A. A is 7m. A is 7m. B is 3m. 5 feet hinged at a point 5 feet from A. 5 feet from A. This is 5 feet. This will be 10. I am assuming this is unstable equilibrium. right? Let us verify if that is right or wrong. If the rod is slightly disturbed from its unstable equilibrium, how do you know it is unstable or stable equilibrium? Potential energy is maximum or minimum. Now, where does the central mass of these forces lie? 7 into x1 will be equal to 3 into x2. x1 plus x2 is equal to 15. These are the two equations, right? Now let me find out x1. 7 into x1. This will be x2. x2 will be x1 plus 7 by 3 x1 is 15. So 10 by 3 x1 is 15. x1 is 9 by 2, 4.5. So at a distance of 4.5 from here, I will have C1. And that is unstable equilibrium. Why? If it were reversed, if it is hinged like this was 7m and this was 3m. Center of mass will come somewhere here. Center of mass will come somewhere here at a distance of 4.5. Center of mass is on the lower side. Potential energy is minimum. That will be stable equilibrium. This is unstable equilibrium. This is unstable equilibrium. This is stable equilibrium. This point, is it clear to all? Now he is telling you if I disturbed it, it will come to this position. 7 will come down, 3 will go up. By how much distance did the center of mass come down? This is 0.5, this is 0.5. So center of mass of this system, 10m G, H is 1 meter, should be equal to half I about O into omega square. As simple as it. Find out I about O. I about the hinge. How can you write kinetic energy as only half I omega square here? About the hinge, it is in
Pure
pure
rotation.
So can you again tell how you differentiated between unstable and stable? I'm not able to.
Unstable potential energy is maximum. Stable potential energy is minimum. Center of mass is lower, their center of mass is higher.
Acha, okay, sir, got it.
Their center of mass is above the hinge. Their center of mass is below the hinge. So that is stable, this is unstable.
Okay.
This is 16. 16th is again important question, but I have a feeling I have discussed this in the doubt lecture. If people didn't go through the doubt lecture. This is given a velocity of P. Some parameters are given 500 grams, 0.5 kg block. P rests on a frictionless horizontal table. Frictionless horizontal table at a distance of 400 millimeters from a fixed point. If I'm calling this O 0.4 meters. Block is attached to a pin by an elastic cord of K. K is given as 100 Newton per meter. and of undeformed length 900 millimeters. If the block is set into motion perpendicularly, determine the speed in the beginning for which distance O to the block P will reach the maximum value of 1.2. 1.2 meters means velocity is perpendicular to R. I just explained that to you people in gravity.
Gravitation.
Velocity will be perpendicular to R, that will be the maximum separation. Now consider initial angle, don't take the same symbols. Take this as V initial, take this as V final. I don't know what is V initial. Is it given?
Have to find that itself.
You have to find out. Find the angular momentum about O, initial and final. Why do you take angular momentum about O? About O it is hinged. And the elastic nature or the elastic force is also passing through O. Elastic force is also passing through O. Hinge force is also passing through O. So angular momentum about O is 0.5 into V1 into 0.4. V initial rather. Final is, what is the mass of this? 0.5 V final into 1.2. This is my first equation. There is a second equation. Conservation of energy. Half 0.5 V initial whole square is half kx square plus 0.5 into V final whole square. Right. K is given. X is also given. Where is X given here? 1.2 minus natural length of the string is some 900 millimeters, right?
Yes,
What is
sir.
the
Yes, so 0.9.
0.9. So X is 1.2 minus 0.9 whole square. K is given as 100. Now you have two equations and two variables. V final you eliminate, you will get B. Now look at the beauty in the problem. Last bit, what did they ask? Radius of curvature of the path of the block when OP is 1.2 meters. Radius of curvature, immediately students will be tempted to say 1.2. Wrong. I told you this need not be the radius.
Yes.
Kx will provide the required centripetal force. Kx is m, V final whole square by R. Find the radius. You know K, you know X, you know M, you know V final from here. Find out the radius.
One second.
$17. L by 4, sorry, unable to see the diagram properly. This is M, this is 2M. This will be L by 4. This will be L by 2. Bar of length L and mass M has a frictionless pivot through its midpoint. There is an additional point mass 2M on the right end of the bar and an additional point mass M on the left end of the bar. The bar is held in horizontal position by a vertical cord attached at a length of L by 4 from the left end as shown in the figure. Additional mass M and 2M remains fixed on the rod. The rod is initially horizontal. Find the tension in the rod. Hey. tension in the cord. P, this is the pivot, right? Take the torque about this particular point. Mg into the distance is L by 2 plus T into L by 4 is equal to 2 mg into L by 2. About the pivot, I have taken torque. Anti-clockwise torque and clockwise torque should be equal. Find the force exerted as the pivot. Take the normal force. Normal force is equal to mg. I am missing the mass of this. Mass of this will be mg, right? M. So that will not come into this because I have taken the torque about the center. So mg will be acting here. So I took the torque about this. This and this mg will give me anti-clockwise torque. 2 mg will give me clockwise torque. First equation is right. Second equation n is mg plus 2 mg plus t. T from there you substitute here should be the answer if my simplification is right. 17th is easy question. Why did you people ask that as a doubt? Am I missing some important thing here?
Sir, for part D in it, we'll have to use conservation of energy, right?
Yes.
Oh, there is a part D. Is it? If the cord is cut, what is the angular acceleration? That is quite easy. When the cord is cut, just remove T from this. Clockwise torque minus anti-clockwise torque is I into alpha.
Yes, sir, I got that last part.
When the bar was rotated through 90 degree and is vertical, what is the linear velocity of the mass swim? Obviously, conservation of energy. Loss in potential energy is equal to gain in kinetic energy. Cord is cut. It will rotate about this.
Sir, and we are considering that the masses are stuck to it.
Yeah, masses are stuck. They will not slip. If not, they would have given us coefficient of friction between them.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Can you do the 20th question also? I forgot.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Uniform rod of mass capital M. Uniform rod of mass capital M. Have a look at this. Right. You have given an impulse J. You have given an impulse J. Is that 6 or 5?
6.
J is 6. And this distance is given as how much?
0.2.
Length of the rod is how much?
0.3.
Fine. Well, then we are pretty safe. Now J is equal to M into VCM. J is equal to M into VCM. This is C. J into, what will this distance be about the center of mass? Okay. How much is this distance? How much? This is 0.15.
0.05.
0.05. J into 0.05 is equal to delta L is equal to ICM omega minus B. ICM is ml square by 12. This J I can substitute here. J is given. J value is given. So I get VCM at the first place and I get omega now. Once I get omega and VCM, you can calculate anything that they ask after 1 second. He's asking, determine the orientation of the rod and the position of the center of mass 1 second from the globe. From here, you will get the linear velocity. So now it covers VCM into T distance and it covers a vertical distance of half GT square. Center of mass from here was the horizontal distance of BCM into T and the vertical distance of half GT square. Now you know the position of the center of mass. He is asking orientation as well. How do you calculate orientation?
Omega.
You know omega. So theta is equal to omega into T. Do you mean to say omega will be constant after it leaves the table? Very strong. Only gravity is acting at the center of mass. So torque is 0. Can I have the board?
Yes.
One second, just stay on that. I am back. Sorry, yeah, I'm back. Now, where are we? We were discussing 19th, right? Somebody in between said 20th, am I right?
Yes, sir.
20th. Sphere A of mass m and radius r rolls without slipping with a velocity v1 or horizontal plane. It hits squarely an identical sphere B, which is at rest. Denoting by mu k, the coefficient of kinetic friction between the sphere and the plane. denoting by mu k the coefficient of kinetic friction between the sphere and the plane. Neglecting friction between the spheres and assuming perfectly elastic collision, determining the linear velocity of each sphere immediately after the impact. Fine. Velocity of each sphere after it has started rolling uniformly. Velocity of each sphere. Okay. Discuss the special case when mu k is 0. Hey, fair enough. This is A, this is B. This is A, this is B. Are the masses different or are they identical?
Identical.
Identical. This is moving with a velocity v, right? This is at rest. First, you will conserve linear momentum. M into v plus 0. Hey, why should I even conserve linear momentum? They are identical masses and it is perfectly elastic collision. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this will come to rest and this will start moving with a velocity v. Yes or no? This has omega. This has omega. Right? Kinetic energy should be conserved. Kinetic energy should be conserved. Have a look at it. mv is equal to m into v1 plus m into v2. This is my first equation. Small e is v2 minus v1 upon v minus 0. Small e is 1. v2 minus v1 is equal to v. This is my second equation. Right?
But sir, even friction is there, right?
Friction is horizontal where there will be that normal force is non-impulsive. There is nothing colliding vertically. There is nothing colliding vertically. So the horizontal frictional force is non-impulsive. So when it collides in a very short time interval of time, listen, when will friction become impulsive? If there is a force this way, this normal force is impulsive. So this frictional force is impulsive. Here they both are colliding this way. So the vertical normal force is non-impulsive. Friction will be non-impulsive. There is no friction between the two spheres, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So 2v is equal to 2v2. v2 is equal to v. They are exchanging velocities. v2 is equal to v. Velocity of each sphere after it has started rolling uniformly. See, this will have, after collision, what happens? This velocity will become 0. A will come to rest, but it will have omega. B will have v, but it will not have any omega. Now, when will it start rolling? Have a look at it. This point is slipping in the backward direction, so friction un will act forward. Right? Initially, it has an omega. So, somewhere after some time, you will have velocity of A is equal to R omega final. This is initial. So, this mu1 is not only decreasing omega, but increasing V. Somewhere down the lane, this condition will be met. You know how to calculate VA and omega A. VA, how will you calculate? You know acceleration, right? 0 plus mu g into t, r into omega minus alpha t. Do you
So we
recollect
can
this?
conserve angular momentum.
We can conserve angular momentum about this particular point.
Yes.
Perfectly okay. Now, same condition applies here. Here, friction will be acting backwards in mu1. So, velocity will be decreasing and omega will be increasing. So, somewhere down the lane, Vb is equal to R omega final. Omega final dash. They need not be the same. Is that part of the board visible? Tell me if this hint is sufficient or not for 28th question.
Yes, sir.
So just one doubt I have. So during the lectures, you told that for rigid bodies, we'll apply the definition of V at the point of contact, the velocities of the point. So, but
Okay.
here it won't be V2 minus V1 V as per the rolling motion, right?
At the point of contact along the common normal. You have taken at the point of contact along the common normal.
Just sorry, sir, got it.
So can
can you also solve question 15? I'm not getting the answer.
Once. Can I have the board? $15 you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Check, I did this in my notes. To solve this. Between steel and the restitution is 0.6 and that is 0.4. One sec. E is velocity of steel divided by 2gh. Right. So velocity of steel is E into under root 2gh. How much is this? 0.6 under root 2gh. Velocity of SP is E into under root 2gh. This is 0.4 into under root 2gh. Omega will be velocity of SS minus velocity of SP divided by the length between them is L. 0.6 minus 4 is 0.2 under root 2gh divided by L. Aha. You get the answer. So people might have done conservation of angular momentum. ये वो सब कुछ किए हुए हैं. Nothing. It's just stated.
So can you do the seventh one?
Can I have the board?
Yes, sir.
Wait. Before
Sir,
this
can you also do the fifth
exercise-
one?
अरे नहीं अब नहीं. 23rd बढ़ाते जा रहे हो आप लोग. 23rd. Done in the previous lecture. Previous doubt lecture I have done this. Please have a look at it. 27.
I watched that lecture. नहीं किया था उसने.
क्या बोल?
सर मैंने देखा था पूरा लेक्चर.
Yes.
23. Have a look at this. This point is A. This is y equal to x square. This will be y equal to minus x square. Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now consider
sir.
an element I about xx dash is his requirement. Xx dash. I about xx dash will be equal to dm into y square. Consider an element here which will be dm at a distance of y of thickness dy. Now, pura element ka it's a thin strip no yaar, but every point of this element is at the same distance of y. Every point of this element is at the same distance of y. Right? Now, how do you get dm? Rho into, you have considered this at a distance of x. So what will this length be? A minus x. A minus x into dy. This is dm into y.
So won't taking vertical strips be easier?
Come again?
Taking vertical elements will be easier, right?
Anything is the same. The next step is the answer. You can take a vertical element. Absolutely no issue. For a vertical element, what is the moment of inertia about this? dm
ml square by 12.
square by
dm L square by 12.
right. Here dm into y square. dm is rho into a minus x is the length into thickness is dy. Now y equal to x square. So what will this y be? Rho into a minus x into x to the power 4 dy is equal to 2x dx. dy I'll put as 2x dx. To differentiate it, y. That's it. Least value of x is 0, maximum value of x is 8. That's your answer.
So you took the element at a distance of x on the x axis, right?
On the x axis.
Okay. You'll have to multiply the final answer by 2, right, to get the whole.
Yes, I forgot to tell you the final answer will multiply with 2 because you have taken only the part above. Part below also will add up. No, 27. I again have a feeling I have done this, but never mind, have a look at it. When will this be maximum? When it comes here? When will this be maximum? When it comes here, omega. Loss in potential energy is gain in kinetic energy. This is R. What will its center of mass be? 4R by 3. Sorry, ulta. Distance from here is 4R by 3 pi. R minus 4R by 3 pi. Right? Loss in potential energy is mgr minus mg r minus 4R by 3 pi is equal to half I about this is O, this is P. I about P into omega. All of the catch in the problem lies in finding out I about P, which by now you people know how to do. You know I about O, right? I about O is mr square by 2, which should be I about center of mass plus m into 4R by 3 pi whole square. Now this I about C will substitute here. I about P is I about C plus m into R minus 4R by 3 pi whole square. See if you understood what I did. I about O is known to me. So that I will equate to I about C plus m into D square. This I about C I will use to calculate I about P. Because this must always be about the center of mass. This point is important and I remember having addressed this.
Why will the kinetic energy be the highest at this position?
Loss in potential energy is the maximum. उसके बाद फिर से it will be rising center of mass.
Okay.
So, so you could have taken IP as I about O plus MR square, right?
रात को you will stand upside down for half an hour and send me the video पूरा आधे घंटे का without fail. अब सुनो ये गलती कभी नहीं करनी. This is O, right? This is not the center of mass. I about P, if any one of you write I naught plus mr square.
Okay, sir, got it.
Right? It must be about center of mass. First to find out about the center of mass and then translate it about this. Center of the board.
Yes.
So, 30th somebody asked, did we solve this problem in the class? This thin rod rotating by an angle of theta, it starts slipping.
Yes, sir. We have solved it.
वही तो है 30th. देख लो आपका class notes.
So the wording wasn't like we
Yes.
didn't get from
I know
the.
the language is slightly different and the values are changed if I'm right. We took L by 4, they took A by 3, L by 3 rather. Values change. Language may be slightly deceptive, but it is the same. वो कोटा translated English है यार. थोड़ा माफ कर दो. Listen. Some of you have some more doubts in it, I believe. It's okay, that's being fair to them. Next doubt lecture, I will finish this and the assignment, both. Whatever balance are left over in this exercise and assignment. Assignment sheet given to you need to be discussed. And then there are 2 problems at least which I have to discuss.
36
Right.
you didn't do right now.
So next doubt lecture kar do.
Yes, sir. One question, please. No, sir.
Bolo, problem number
37, sir.
37 का part B, part A was done in class.
Resolve V1R. 37 का part B, you will have to resolve V1R. You are taking velocity. 37 का part B. इसी का radius पूछ रहे हो ना यार?
Yes, sir.
This will be root 2V. Resolve V1. Right? V square by R. This V should be perpendicular to R. That's a hint. Radius of the cylinder is R. Find the radius of curvature of the trajectory traced out at the point A and B. Resolve even the radius. That's a hint. You don't get it, I'll discuss it in the next class.
Okay.
Sir,
Hello?
sir, we should also solve the short answer questions and the questions to ponder
From HCV?
from booklet.
Yeah. There are quite a few of them are good questions here.
Okay, sir. So
So-
the next time, like after assignment, you'll discuss them.
Yes. Remind me, if not, I'll forget.
Okay.
Sir.
So,
Or in the 40th one which you discussed, I took it as the final velocity of the ball into mass into the distance moved by the horizontal the frame. But I'm getting 2 hmv.
No. Final velocity you will take. Right? But R,
So R perpendicular, na? So we'll take the distance moved by the frame.
from that point 2.
Yes,
From
sir.
that point 2. From the point 2, how did you take R perpendicular? It is falling this way. This velocity V, your point 2. So this is MV. It is R cross V, right? This is R. Point 2 is moving with the velocity V. Find out the velocity with respect to velocity of the body with respect to velocity of the body minus
Oh,
velocity.
with respect. Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
O is moving, right?
Yes, sir.
But no, even the problem setter didn't want you to solve using that procedure. He wanted you to solve using MG.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
So I have one doubt from HCV objective. So will you take it in the next doubt lecture?
आप कौन से बैच से हो?
NAPGC 1-2.
वो शायद फ्लैगशिप बैच के कोई बच्चे हैं यहाँ?
No, sir.
है?
So you haven't.
HCV
No,
objective
no.
मैंने
Sir,
सर
no,
आपको
no.
recording भेजा था.
But so you didn't take this doubt in that recording.
now listen, if it is common for both the sections are taken up in the doubt lecture. If the doubt lecture is separately for NAPJC 1-2, I'll take up the objectives for you people in that class. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, for 37, why can't we resolve the velocity?
Velocity भी resolve करना पड़ेगा भाई साहब. आपको √2v ले रहे हो ना? √2v is the net resultant velocity.
हाँ sir.
So actually I have only one doubt in HCV objective.
बोलो.
So there was this question that we had to find that which one of the following will have the smallest kinetic energy at the bottom of the incline.
And is the body rolling?
No, it's given the friction coefficients between the objects and the incline are same and not sufficient to allow pure rolling.
Up to the body is having both translation and rotational motion.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the problem number.
So 25th. HCV objective 1.
Objective 1, solid sphere, hollow sphere and a disc all have the same mass and radius are placed on the top of an incline and released. Right, the friction coefficient between the object and the incline are same and not sufficient to allow pure rolling. That means the point is slipping. Least time will be taken in reaching the bottom by, okay. In the previous question, the smallest kinetic energy he is asking.
Shouldn't the answer be D?
Pardon?
Shouldn't the answer be D of 25th?
Smallest kinetic energy half a omega square किसका है? Now, all of them are having the same coefficient of friction, right?
Yes,
so all
sir.
of them have the same torque,
Yes, sir.
right? Because they are of the same mass, the linear velocity of all of them will be the same.
Yes, sir.
Half mv square for all of them will be the same. The only difference is with half I omega square. Moment of inertia and omega. Torque is equal to I into alpha. Right? See, torque is the same, F into R is the same because radii of all of them are the same.
Yes, sir.
Now I into alpha, torque is the same. I into alpha will be the same. Now see, alpha will give rise to omega. I will be the same. I will get cancelled to my knowledge. Half I omega square when you calculate. I omega is equal to alpha t. Alpha is torque divided by I into t whole square. Torque is the same, t is the same. I have I in the denominator. I in the denominator. जिसका maximum I है उसका least kinetic energy हो.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you very much.
So see you people in the next class. How many of you are left? 20.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good day. Good night. Bye.
Sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.